profoundly shaped our understanding of ancient India and its cultural history, first emerged from a specific historical and intellectual context in the realm of early Indology. It was primarily conceived by scholars in 19th century Europe, particularly in Britain and Germany, during a period marked by intense academic interest in comparative linguistics, mythology, and the origins of ancient civilizations. The theory proposed that a group of nomadic pastoralists, referred to as the Aryans, migrated into the Indian subcontinent from regions possibly in Central Asia, bringing with them their Indo-European language and distinctive cultural elements. A crucial catalyst for this theory was the discovery of striking linguistic similarities between Sanskrit, the ancient sacred language of India, and various European languages like Greek, Latin, and even Germanic tongues. Prominent scholars like the German philologist Max Müller played a significant role, meticulously observing these deep connections and postulating a common ancestral language known as Proto-Indo-European. This compelling linguistic evidence led directly to the hypothesis of a common ancestral people who originated this proto-language, and the idea of their gradual migration into different regions across Eurasia, including India. At that time in the 19th century, archaeology was still in its nascent stages of development, with methods that were rudimentary and not yet sophisticated enough to provide definitive answers about ancient migrations and population movements. The absence of robust archaeological data meant that linguistic inferences and scholarly speculations often filled the evidential gaps, thereby shaping the influential narrative of an Aryan invasion or migration into the subcontinent. Early archaeological discoveries in India, such as the advanced Indus Valley Civilization with its planned cities and artifacts, were not yet fully understood or connected to the proposed timeline of Aryan arrival. Consequently, the theory gained considerable traction, becoming the dominant paradigm in academia for explaining the origins of Indian culture, its diverse population, and the revered Vedic tradition. It's crucial to distinguish between a scientific theory, defined as a well-substantiated explanation of natural phenomena, and the empirical evidence that rigorously supports or refutes it. The Aryan Invasion Theory, while undeniably influential, was largely a linguistic hypothesis, with archaeological evidence often interpreted through its preconceived framework rather than independently confirming its key claims. Over time, new archaeological discoveries, improved excavation methods, and advancements in genetic research, such as ancient DNA analysis, began to challenge some of the core tenets of this initial theory. The understanding of ancient migrations and cultural interactions has since become far more complex, involving gradual diffusions, trade networks, and admixtures rather than a simple invasion model. This evolution in understanding exemplifies the dynamic nature of historical inquiry, where theories are continually refined or replaced through the emergence of new evidence. So, how did these new discoveries and methodologies lead to a reevaluation of the Aryan invasion theory, and what alternative models have emerged to better explain the evidence? We delve into the complex and evolving debate surrounding the Aryan invasion versus migration theories, examining modern evidence that reshapes our understanding of ancient history. The traditional Aryan invasion theory, largely discredited, posited a violent conquest around 1500 BCE, while the migration theory suggests a more gradual process of acculturation. Linguistic evidence, particularly similarities between Sanskrit and European languages, strongly suggests a common Proto-Indo-European origin. Analysis indicates language transfer from west to east, though the Rig Veda notably lacks foreign place names, complicating a simple narrative. Archaeological findings have largely discredited the invasion theory, revealing no definitive evidence of a violent conquest. Instead, the decline of the Indus Valley Civilization is now widely attributed to climate change, not external invasion. Ancient DNA studies offer compelling insights, revealing complex migrations and admixtures within South Asian populations. Evidence of steppe ancestry suggests significant migration from Eurasia into India, particularly the R1a haplogroup. These studies often indicate sex-biased migration, predominantly male, contributing to the genetic landscape of the subcontinent. Climate change models provide another crucial lens, indicating aridization in Eurasia and India during the 2nd millennium BCE. This ecological shift likely drove Indo-European dispersal and migration into South Central Asia and eventually into India. Modern interpretations largely reject the term invasion in favor of more nuanced migration and acculturation models. Indian civilization is now viewed as multi-sourced, a rich tapestry woven from diverse cultural and genetic contributions. The Aryan Invasion Theory has been critically re-evaluated, often seen as a product of colonialist discourse. Current research suggests the first Indo-European speakers lived in southern Russia around 6,500 years ago, with migrations from the Caucasus Lower Volga group. AI data analysis dashboards are now instrumental in processing the vast datasets from archaeology, linguistics, and genetics. These advanced tools allow researchers to identify subtle patterns and correlations that were previously undetectable, refining our historical models. The ongoing analysis of this evidence continues to paint a more nuanced picture, moving beyond simplistic narratives to embrace the complexities of human history.
The Aryan Invasion Theory, or Indo-Aryan Migration Theory, is a pivotal and often debated topic in Indian history and archaeology. Initially proposed in the 19th century, this theory suggested that Indo-European speakers, known as Aryans, migrated to India from Central Asia around 1500 BCE. This movement, whether migration or invasion, was believed to have contributed to the decline of the Indus Valley civilization and the subsequent rise of Vedic culture. The core idea posited Aryans as fair-skinned nomads who introduced Sanskrit, the Vedas, Hinduism, and the caste system, explaining linguistic similarities with other Indo-European languages. However, archaeological findings have significantly challenged the invasion aspect, revealing no conclusive evidence of widespread warfare or destruction in Indus Valley excavations. This absence of evidence led to the Indo-Aryan migration theory, proposing a more gradual and peaceful movement of people into the subcontinent. Linguistic analysis remains crucial, confirming common Indo-European origins, yet the exact timing and nature of this linguistic diffusion are still debated. Some scholars even argue for an earlier date for the Rig Veda's composition, potentially predating the conventionally proposed Aryan migration. Genetic studies further complicate the picture, indicating migrations and interactions between Central Asian and Indian subcontinent populations, but not violent invasion. These studies suggest an intricate pattern of genetic exchange and admixture over an extended period, with some findings even proposing an older, indigenous origin for the Aryan genetic component. The indigenous Aryans theory, or out-of-India theory, posits that Indo-Aryan people and languages originated within the Indian subcontinent itself. Proponents argue for cultural and civilizational continuity from the Indus Valley civilization to later Vedic culture, often aligning with a religio-nationalistic view. The debate extends beyond academia, touching upon identity, politics, and the interpretation of Indian history, with some arguing colonial agendas influenced the initial theory. Key points of contention include the interpretation of linguistic evidence, the archaeological record's silence on invasion, and the nuanced findings of genetic studies. Cultural continuity and the socio-political implications of these theories also remain central to the ongoing discussion. Ultimately, while the initial Aryan invasion theory is largely discredited, the question of how Indo-European languages and cultures spread into the Indian subcontinent remains a multifaceted and evolving scholarly inquiry.